Hello everybody, this is Gary Marr of Glendale Community College. This screencast is for my CIS150AB Summer 17 online students. And what I'm going to talk about in this screencast is the last assignment, Assignment 10, where I'm asking for a storyboard of your GUI design and also the object dictionary that relates to that GUI storyboard. Because we don't have enough time to really get into GUI programming, this is all we'll do for this. We're not going to write any code, although there are examples. In fact, the example called CBGUI app is out there in Python if you want to run it through Thony or one of the other Python IDEs. But what I'm going to talk about today is specifically something I've created in Visio and then something I've created in a spreadsheet. Starting with Visio. This file is out there in Canvas, as I said before. And as I talked about earlier, what it is it's a design of an application I've created or going to create. In fact, it's the Python app. And on it, it's got some text boxes, it's got some buttons, it's got some labels. It also doesn't have some of this stuff defined. This is actually a label, and also the dollar signs and the word check and deposit are also labels. Balance is a label. But what I want you to do is using Visio, and you're going to find that there is something in shapes that you're going to be able to find over here that does controls. And from that, you can drag and drop just like you did. And here are the actual controls over here. Just like you did earlier with flowcharts, something that looks like a GUI screen. Now, you don't have to use Visio if you don't want to. You can use Excel. You can use Lucidchart, which is a freebie. Anything you have that will just diagram or block out this diagram in terms of labels, text boxes, buttons. I want you to have a balloon I'm not sure, a balloon label from each one identifying the name of that control. And I would prefer that you use that reverse Hungarian naming convention that VB or Visual Studio uses, which is to prefix the name of each one of these controls with either TXT for text box, LBL for label, or BTN for button. And in the actual assignment describes what you're building. Okay, it's something for Moosehead Skateboard. But it's fairly straightforward, fairly simple. I used Visio because it looks a lot more professional, but you very easily could have used Excel or any one of the other products that comes with Microsoft Office. Now, this is actually the more important piece, I think. The object dictionary is going to describe all of the widget or controls names. And widget is a name that's used a lot of times for Java and Python. Controls is more popular and more consistent, I think, with the way Microsoft names graphical controls. But you can see that all of the controls that I had identified on my storyboard are in the first column. I then tell you what kind of widget it is, button, text box, label, and then some general properties. And again, properties would be what the text is going to show in that control, what color I want it to be, and then there's some other things. And I'm not real worried about this. This is more for illustration purposes, but for like set focus, for example. If you set the focus for text deposit to be true, then when the person starts the application, that's where the cursor starts off in. Okay, that just seems to be logical. And then you can also set the tab order so it flows naturally down the screen, then across to the secondary columns. Any events are going to go with this text box, and then finally any handler code that's associated with the event. So down here, if the text box changes, or text box with the check information changes, then I'm going to have a method that I want to call, or a routine module I want to call, called zero balance warn. I'm doing it with a check, I'm not doing it with a deposit. That's a little strange, but I guess I used one and not the other. You could probably use this for both. Notice I haven't really defined this code. All I'm asking you to do for this assignment is to basically indicate what would probably happen here if the person had, in this case, changed the text, or in these cases down here on the submit, cancel, exit, help button, what kind of routines would be called if the person actually clicked on that control. This is what we call the object dictionary. In between this and the storyboard, that would give the person, for the most part, who was going to program this for us, most of the information they needed to run the application. The only, of course, missing pieces here would be the modules. Okay, the person who would create the code for those would, of course, be looking for you to give them the pseudocode. I'm not going to worry about that for this assignment. It's really tough to do that without actually writing the complete application. So that's my little hint or my little help with assignment 10. And again, this CB GUI app is something that's written in Python. It's also in that files folder in Canvas. If you've been working with Python and all, you can open up that and run it. You can see how it works. Hope that helps. Thank you.